Manchester United return to action this weekend against Chelsea, and the big news this week has been towards the end part of the week where Manchester United have now got a new manager in temporary in Ralf Rangrick till the end of the season. That is quite big news for Manchester United ahead of this game, because we didn't know when Michael Carrick was going to carry on till whether it was going to be 2, 5, 10 games. And if Michael Carrick does well in these opening few games, it was going to probably give him longer if we didn't get Rangrick into Manchester United and there wasn't any other names really in the hat for that role as interim manager. Then it would have given the board a bit of pressure to have kept Michael Carrick on for longer. And he won't be in charge for probably this game or the Arsenal game on Thursday, but he probably will be in charge for the next game. I think it's Palace after that, so he'll probably be in charge for that one. But I don't really know what to expect from Manchester United getting this interim manager in. He hasn't managed any big name teams, to be honest. The best are teams like Leipzig and Schalke and teams like that. He hasn't managed the Real Madrids and any teams like that. So it remains to be seen what he can do at Manchester United. I think he's 63 years of age, so very experienced man. So most people on Twitter are saying that he is the absolute dog's bollocks, and 3 or 4 weeks ago probably didn't have a fucking clue who his name was. So to be honest, a lot of people are just hyping on the fact that he's a German coach, and there's two very, very good German coaches managing in the Premier League right now. So I don't really know where to go. I'm going to save my judgment until we see how Manchester United actually do on the pitch under this geezer. But to be honest, all it really is now is about trying to get into that Champions League spot and then build for next season, really, isn't it? The season's practically dead, so I don't really know. He's just coming really to do what Solskjaer done the previous time and steady the ship and get it ready for the next guy. That's how I see it, to be honest. I don't really see this as being massive, to be honest, because we're going to be looking for a new manager towards the end of the season, and if we're not doing very well towards the end of the season, or Champions League football's not going to happen via the top four, or it's already done, are these players going to be that bothered towards the end of the season, but when they know this guy's not even going to be in charge anyway? And if this guy does do shit, it's going to be strange, because he's going to be a member of the club, on board level. I don't really understand what role he's going to do at Manchester United yet, a consultancy role or some shit at the club. But if he does really shit in the job, do we really want this? I mean, he might do very well in the job, but I would delay that and see what he does for Manchester United at this moment in time, because he's not one of these Pep Guardiolas that's won multiple trophies in lots of countries. He's not that. He hasn't done that, but he hasn't managed the big teams, to be fair. So it does remain to be seen. I'm still sceptical of this until we are seeing what happens on the pitch. And at the moment in time, we're gonna have to wait a couple of games before we start to see what he wants to do with the group of players that he's got, and hopefully Manchester United can improve under Ralf. Really do. But going into this Chelsea game, Manchester United, this is really difficult game for Manchester United. I personally think that Manchester United are going to struggle to do anything in this game of football. This is like the two opposites at the moment in terms of form in the Premier League. Manchester United, I think, in the last 7 games would be bottom of the league, and Chelsea top of the league. So it is the complete opposite for Manchester United at this moment in time to Chelsea. But you just never know going into this game. I mean, it was only a few weeks ago that Chelsea drew 1-1 with Burnley, so anything could happen. But you've got to think that Chelsea are going to probably roll over Manchester United given the form. But Manchester United have got a lot of individual great players, and with the players that Manchester United have got, we can always create chances and score goals, and we've seen that plenty of times this season, that we've scored goals when we've been shit. We've got points when we haven't deserved it. I mean, we haven't barely deserved hardly any fucking points this season, and a lot of this individual brilliance has got Manchester United through games. We did keep that clean sheet in the week that I don't personally think we would have done if it had been under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm not saying that Carrick was the reason why we got that 2-0 win, but I think if anyone had been in charge of that game, I think Manchester United winning it, apart from if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge, because I just think the players just completely down tools for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And so I really don't know what to expect. It wasn't great against Villarreal, but Manchester United got the job done. We didn't make the horrendous mistakes that we've made in previous weeks. Slabhead didn't make any mistakes that led to goals. So although it wasn't great, and people are saying it was the same old, but we didn't concede any goals, and mostly every single fucking game this season we conceded goals. So it wasn't the exact same. Yes, David De Gea had to pull off a couple of good saves, but in previous games he's pulled off saves and we still lost the game. So I don't really know what to expect. I think he's going to go change it up a bit for this game. I do, Carrick. I think the back four is probably gonna have to pick itself, because there's no Slabhead Maguire to play at centre half. So it's gonna have to be Bailey, Lindelof. I would go with Telles and Wan-Bissaka. I think Luke Shaw's a doubt, and I don't think Luke Shaw's form's been fucking good at all. I think he needs to really buck his ideas up. I've not been impressed with Luke Shaw for a while, to be honest. Even last season, people jumping on the high horse. I'm not the biggest fan of Luke Shaw anymore. I don't think he's up to the level that Manchester United need to get to if we want to get back to winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. That's my honest point. I don't think he's as good as he was before he broke his leg, and that's just my honest opinion. Midfield, I'm not too sure what Manchester United are going to go for, because apparently Fred is a major doubt for this game, so he might go with McTominay and Matic in there. I doubt he's going to go for Van der Beek in there against this really good Chelsea team at the moment, that's steamrolling teams. So I think he'll go for Matic and McTominay in there. Bruno Fernandes I would expect to come back into the lineup. Cristiano Ronaldo up front, Sancho on the right, and I would expect Rashford to come back in on the left hand side. To be honest, I would expect it to be something like that anyway. There was rumours that Kieran McKenna and Michael Carrick wanted Manchester United to go to a back five. I see in some of the papers quicker than Manchester United did when we did it against Spurs. They were putting it forward to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he left it later than they thought. And I don't think Manchester United should be looking to go with a back five, to be honest. And we can't go with the limited centre halves with Varane and Slabhead and Maguire out of this game. We can't go with a fucking back five in this one, because Shaw's out as well. So there's not really another centre half that could fill in to make a three centre half. So hopefully he won't go with that, because we haven't seen fucking Jones in fucking donkey's years. So I reckon it's going to be a similar lineup to that. There won't be no Martial in the starting lineup. I don't think Van der Beek, as I say, I don't think them two players done enough in that Villarreal game to warrant starting this game. And when Rashford and Bruno Fernandes come on, Manchester United were a lot better, and that was when Manchester United eventually broke through and got the goals against Villarreal. Sancho's looked a bit better the last two games, and it's all about game time, I believe, for Sancho. Yeah, he's come to a new league which is a lot more difficult, we know, than the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga is still a very good league, but this is probably the hardest league at this moment in time in Europe, and physically it's very, very demanding. He's never played in it, so it was going to take him a little bit of time, and I think now he's earned that place. Even if Greenwood comes back in to the squad, he probably may well come back into the squad for the Arsenal game. I don't expect it's going to be this game, because I think he's still out with coronavirus, but I don't think Greenwood should walk back into the team. I think that Sancho should keep his spot. Greenwood's been very off very off form recently anyway, so Sancho deserves that run of game time to hopefully get him up to speed and hopefully push. And after the Arsenal game, Manchester United have got a lot of easier on paper games that potentially we could win quite a few of them. And I think if Jadon Sancho can get a run together and get his form consistent and his confidence up, I'm sure Manchester United will go on and win some of them games, and hopefully step up the league. We may have to take a step back with this Chelsea one, because I can't see Manchester United going there and getting anything. I really can't. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I'm not too sure who Chelsea are going to be. I mean, they've got a couple of injury problems themselves. Ben Chilwell apparently is out for most of the season. That is devastating news for him. He's got a really bad injury. Kante's out apparently. Lukaku hasn't been playing up front because he's been injured, so I doubt they're going to play Werner up front, who did, I think he came off the bench against Juventus and scored, but a lot of their goals recently have come from their fullbacks, their defenders, so I'm not really sure where the main threat, you would have said the main threat would have come from Romelu Lukaku up front and his presence up front, but the chances are he probably won't start this game, which is crazy to think. But they've got a very good team. I still think they're very strong in midfield, which is going to be a massive problem for Manchester United. in there. I think they're going to probably dominate us in there, and they're very, very strong at the back with the goalkeeper, with Rudiger at their back, Christensen, whoever plays at the back at the moment, Reece James. They are very, very good, and Manchester United have got to be careful of Reece James. So I think he's scored a few goals from this season, so we've got to be careful with that. But they are a strong team, Chelsea. They've got many options. They're just so powerful. They don't give nothing away. So I think Manchester United can really have a job on our hands to get anything. I mean, most Manchester United fans would definitely take a draw in this game. Really would, if we could get a draw. But I just don't see it. I think Chelsea are going to win this. I think it's going to be fairly comfortable for Chelsea, but I don't think they're going to absolutely smash us. I think Chelsea are going to probably win about 2-0. I think Chelsea just comfortable beat Manchester United. I just think that Manchester United, it's going to take time for Manchester United to get their form back. This wasn't going to be a massive bounce, I didn't think, for Manchester United this time around, because before we brought a new manager in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when Mourinho got the sack, and there was a real feel factor, but Carrick's actually been at the club, so if he'd come back to the club it might have been a bit more of a feel factor, things might have changed, but all the players know Carrick and everything like that, and he's been a part of this regime, so it hasn't really, I don't think it's really going to change anything until Ralf comes in the next couple of games. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on Ralf Rangnick. Do you think he is the man to help steer Manchester United in the right direction before we get a permanent manager? And what do you think about this upcoming game against Chelsea? Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and if you're watching this on Facebook, please do hit the share button, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.